Chosen ones, I want you to stop for a moment and truly feel what's been weighing on your soul. For far too long, you've felt trapped. The job you can't escape, the routines that suffocate your spirit, the endless cycle of expectations that feels like an invisible cage. It wasn't security, it was a sentence. The walls you've built around your life, built on the foundation of "this is how it's supposed to be," have become too tight, too confining. But hear this, your freedom is at hand. This is the moment of release, the moment where everything shifts. Your soul has been whispering to you, urging you to step into something bigger, something greater. And this is that time. The chains are breaking. It's time, beloved, for you to step out of that cage. The chains that have held you in place, whether it's the comfort of routine or the fear of the unknown, are being shattered. This isn't just a change in your circumstances. This is a divine awakening. You were never meant to live in the shadows of life. You were born to shine, to carry light into dark places, to heal where healing is needed. The divine has spoken. You are called for more than just existing. You are called to break free from the mundane, from the life that has defined you up until now. Heaven is calling you to move forward in your divine purpose. Now is the time for your spiritual awakening. Chosen one, you are no longer bound to the life that once kept you tethered in place. The message is simple. Your only mission is to travel, not just for the sake of leisure or adventure, but to fulfill a higher purpose. You are called to carry light, to bring healing, and to transform the spaces you touch. Your journey is not just about moving from one place to another, it's about stepping into your divine assignment, one that is written in the stars, one that aligns you with heaven's purpose for your life. It is a calling that can no longer be ignored. Every step you take will carry you further into the person you were always meant to be. As Isaiah 43:1 reminds us, "But now this is what the Lord says, He who created you, Jacob, He who formed you, Israel, do not fear, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine." This verse is not just an ancient scripture. It is a living truth, calling you by name, telling you that the chains have been broken. John 8:36 echoes this truth. "So if the Son sets you free, you will be free indeed." This is the freedom that awaits you, the freedom to move as you were always meant to, the freedom to step into the divine calling on your life. Now I want you to claim this freedom. If you feel this truth stirring within your spirit, I invite you to comment below. Type 777, 111, or 333 as your spiritual confirmation of this divine awakening. Let this be a moment where you activate the truth within. It's not just about words, it's about alignment. By commenting, you're not just acknowledging the message, you're agreeing with heaven's plan for your life. And while you're here, make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon, because this journey has only just begun, and you don't want to miss the ongoing spiritual guidance and support that will come to you in the days ahead. Let's move forward together. Your divine awakening is now. Have you ever felt a deep, gnawing discomfort inside you that nothing seems to satisfy? That inner ache that keeps you awake at night, whispering questions into your mind about your life, your choices, and the direction you're headed. It's like there's something missing, but you can't quite put your finger on it. You've tried to fill the emptiness with new hobbies, changes to your routine, a different job, or even a fresh relationship. Yet, despite all these attempts, there remains an unsettling feeling that lingers like an itch that can't be scratched, a longing that doesn't go away. At times, you might have even convinced yourself that it's simply boredom, or perhaps a phase, maybe a midlife crisis, a sense of being lost in life. Maybe you told yourself it would pass, or that you just hadn't found the right answer yet. But deep down you know this ache is more than a passing feeling. It's something deeper, something more significant. And that is exactly what it is, a divine stirring. You see that discomfort, the feeling of discontentment, the unquenchable desire for something more, is not a random, meaningless symptom. It is not a sign that something is broken within you. Instead, what you've been feeling is divine preparation. The restlessness you've experienced is not an accident. It is a sign that your soul is awakening, that God is reprogramming your inner coordinates, setting you up for something greater. This longing you feel is not to lead you into despair or confusion. No, it is meant to propel you toward your destiny. For too long, we have been taught that this restlessness is something to fear, something that indicates we are unsatisfied or unfulfilled. We often mistake this stirring for dissatisfaction, for not having enough or not doing enough. But this feeling, this ache, is not a negative. It is a divine signal that you are being called to something far greater than what you've known so far. It is God stirring the fire within your soul, reminding you that you were never meant to be confined by the ordinary, the mundane, or the comfortable. We live in a world that often seeks to keep us in our routines, in our safety zones, and in our familiar. It tells us that we need to be content with the way things are, that we should accept the status quo. But deep within, something inside you has always known that you were made for more. That ache you feel, it's your soul's longing for something higher, something more purposeful, something greater than the small life you've been living. God has placed a divine fire in you, a fire that will not be quenched by the everyday routines of this world. This is not just dissatisfaction. It is divine discontentment, a feeling that something more awaits you, a purpose, a mission that you have yet to step into. That ache is God's way of igniting the desire within you, pulling you out of your comfort zone and towards something more. You are being called to break free from the limitations you've placed on your life, to step into a journey that will take you into the fullness of who you were always meant to be. This feeling of restlessness is not something to run from or avoid. It's a sign that God is preparing you for the next step in your life. A divine mission, a journey that will lead you into places you've never imagined. And this journey, this mission, is not random. It is God's plan for your life, a plan that has been written for you from the beginning of time. What you've been feeling is not a fluke, a passing phase. It is a divine stirring, a deep preparation for what is to come. For far too long, you've been living in the ordinary, the everyday. You've tried to fill the void with what the world tells you should satisfy you, a career, a relationship, a lifestyle. But those things, while they may provide temporary relief, can never truly satisfy the longing of your soul. That's because the yearning you feel is not for the things of this world. It is for the divine purpose that has been placed inside you. God is preparing you for a journey that will take you beyond the mundane. The restlessness you feel is the very spark that will ignite the fire of your purpose. It's the moment when your soul begins to awaken to the reality that you were made for more than just the life you've been living. And now the time has come to step into that divine calling. That ache, it's your spirit getting ready for what's next. It's the divine reprogramming of your soul, aligning you with God's will and preparing you for the journey ahead. This stirring is not something to fear or shy away from. It is the beginning of a new chapter in your life, a chapter where you move forward with confidence and purpose. The discomfort you've felt, the longing for more, is not a random or useless feeling. It is God's way of stirring you to action. You've been in a holding pattern, waiting, unsure of where to go or what to do. But now the time has come for you to step forward. The longing, the ache, it's the sign that you are being prepared to step into your destiny. This restlessness is God's way of calling you out of your complacency. It's His invitation to move forward, to leave behind the life of stagnation, and to step into a life of divine purpose. He is calling you to move to trust, to follow the path that He has laid out for you. And so, chosen one, the time has come. The restlessness you've been feeling is not a curse, but a divine call. It's a signal that you are being prepared for the mission ahead. The comfort zone you've been living in, the routine that once felt safe, is now too small for you. God is calling you to something greater, something more meaningful. That feeling you've been running from, the discomfort, the restlessness, is exactly what you need to move forward. It is the spark that will light the fire of your purpose. Embrace the ache. Embrace the discomfort. It's leading you to the next chapter of your life, a chapter where you are fully aligned with God's plan. It's time to stop running from the restlessness and start moving toward the mission that awaits you. Trust that God is preparing you for something greater and step boldly into the journey He has prepared for you. Your soul is waking up, and the time to step into your divine purpose is now. The restlessness you've been feeling is not a sign of failure. It is a sign of divine alignment. It is the call to move to trust and to walk boldly into the destiny that has always been yours. Each one of us is born with a divine purpose, an assignment written in the stars before we were even conceived. If you've ever wondered why you feel different, why you've always had an inner knowing that there's something more to your life than what you've experienced so far, then you're beginning to understand the depth of your calling. You weren't created just to exist. You were created to fulfill a higher purpose, a purpose that aligns with God's grand design for the world. The truth is, you are part of a divine deployment. God didn't create you just to go through the motions. You are a soul on assignment. From the very moment you were born, heaven began preparing you for this mission. Before you even took your first breath, God already had a plan for your life, an intricate, perfect plan that would unfold in its time. Jeremiah 1:5 speaks directly to this truth. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This scripture is not just about the prophet Jeremiah. It is about you. God set you apart long before you entered this world. He knew the gifts He placed within you, the strengths and struggles you would face, and the calling He would place on your life. You are not a coincidence. You are not a random person drifting through life. You were chosen, carefully selected, and appointed by God for a mission that is uniquely yours. What has felt like a period of waiting or even frustration is simply God's way of preparing you for what is to come. Like a soldier awaiting deployment, you've been in training, learning, growing, sometimes enduring hardship, all while God's divine hand has been guiding you, molding you, and equipping you for the mission at hand. Now the time has come for you to fully realize your calling and step into your divine purpose. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. Your mission is far bigger than a 9-to-5 job, a house, or a set of societal expectations. You were created to carry God's light, to be a vessel of healing, and to bring hope to places that are waiting for someone like you to step into the gap. Your soul was made for this purpose. Now it's time to acknowledge that this mission is not about escaping your current life or running away from the world you know. It's about stepping into your purpose, not away from it. God hasn't called you to abandon your life. He's called you to step into something greater, something that will fulfill the deepest longings of your soul. This is the moment where you rise, and instead of hiding or running from what is ahead, you move forward into your divine calling. You are called to be a carrier of light, a bringer of hope, a healer to the broken. and your mission. It's not about grand gestures or changing the world overnight. It's about bringing your light into the dark places, one step at a time, wherever you are called to go. You are called to move with heaven, to walk in obedience to the whisper that tells you go. You were created to carry God's presence wherever you step, whether that's across the world or across the street. The truth is, you've been held back for far too long. You've been restrained by comfort, by fear, and by the chains of expectation placed on you by the world. But now is the time to break free. You were never meant to live in one place, to build your life around the predictable and the safe. You were born to move, to travel, and to be the hands and feet of God wherever you go. Your mission is not just about you. It's about the people and places that will encounter the light of God through your obedience. This is your new life, a life where travel is not just a physical journey, but a spiritual one. You are no longer bound to the routine. You are a vessel, moving with purpose, carrying God's glory from place to place. Every step you take is a step closer to fulfilling the mission God set before you. Your mission is not about running away from your past. It's about embracing the future God has already planned for you. As you step into this new mission, you may find that you no longer fit in with the world you once knew. The relationships that once defined you may now feel out of place. The job that once gave you identity may now seem small in comparison to the divine assignment on your life. But don't fear this change. Embrace it. You are stepping into a new dimension of living, a dimension where your purpose is greater than any title, any job, any expectation. God's plan for your life is not just about comfort. It's about movement. It's about being a living testament to the power of divine purpose. As you step into this new mission, remember that you are not alone. You are a part of a divine deployment, a messenger sent by God to bring light, hope, and healing to the world. So, chosen one, the time has come. Your divine deployment has arrived. No longer will you be bound by the past, by the chains of routine, or by the expectations of others. You are stepping into a new season, a new mission, one where your only job is to travel with purpose, to move with heaven, and to carry God's light wherever you go. You are no longer just a wanderer looking for meaning or escape. You are a messenger sent on a divine mission to bring transformation to the world. You are a vessel carrying the healing power of God's presence to places that need it most. This mission is not about escape. It's about purpose. It's about stepping into the divine calling that has been placed on your life since the moment you were formed in your mother's womb. Now it's time to rise. It's time to walk in obedience, to listen to the call that has always been there. The restless ache you've felt was never a curse, it was preparation. You are ready, you are equipped, and you are not alone. Heaven is with you, guiding you every step of the way. Step into your new life, chosen one. Your mission has begun. The world awaits your light, and you are ready to shine. If you've ever felt weighed down by invisible forces, by things that are not always tangible but have an undeniable presence in your life, then you understand the feeling of being tethered, anchored to a place or a mindset that no longer serves your higher purpose. These anchors come in many forms, often dressed as beliefs, identities, or emotional attachments that are rooted deep within your soul. And while they may have served a purpose at one time, they now stand as barriers preventing you from stepping into the full freedom and divine mission that awaits you. One of the most common anchors is outdated beliefs. These are the thought patterns and convictions you've held on to for years, sometimes even from childhood, that have shaped how you see the world, yourself, and your worth. These beliefs might be things like, "I'm not good enough," "I'll never succeed," or "I'm too old to change." Perhaps they've been formed through past experiences, family expectations, societal pressures, or even personal disappointments. These beliefs, whether consciously or unconsciously held, have created limits around you. They've shaped your comfort zone and kept you from believing in your potential to do great things. Another anchor that holds you back is emotional debt. Those unresolved wounds, grudges, and unresolved conflicts that have been carried from one chapter of life to the next. These emotional debts keep you tied to the past. Maybe it's a betrayal from a close friend, a failed relationship, or a family dynamic that left you feeling rejected or unheard. Whatever it is, this emotional baggage weighs heavily on your heart and soul, holding you in place as you struggle to move forward. Old identities are also powerful anchors. We all wear labels at some point in our lives, whether they're titles like the responsible one, the caretaker, the perfectionist, or even the failure. These identities, though familiar, often restrict us from embracing who we are truly meant to be. When you're stuck in an old identity, you cannot grow into the fullness of who God has created you to become. It becomes a self-imposed limitation, and you find yourself living a life that is defined more by your past than by your divine future. But here's the truth. These anchors were never meant to keep you stuck. They served a purpose at one point, but now they are hindrances to your divine deployment. These anchors are being lifted. This process is not easy, but it is necessary. God is calling you to release the weight that has kept you grounded, holding you back from your true calling. And to do this, you must first acknowledge them. You cannot release what you do not see. Recognizing the emotional debts, the outdated beliefs, and the old identities is the first step in the process of freedom. By acknowledging them, you invite divine healing and guidance to begin the work of realignment. The anchors may have served you in the past, but now it's time for them to be released. You are called to be free to soar and to move in divine rhythm with heaven's purpose. The second part of this divine realignment is the process of releasing the past. This is not just about letting go of physical things like jobs or possessions, though that can be part of it. The past holds attachments to old versions of ourselves, and to fully step into your divine mission, you must release everything that no longer serves your higher purpose. You've been holding on to certain things, whether consciously or unconsciously, because they feel safe, familiar, or even comforting. Maybe it's a job that no longer fulfills you, but has provided stability. Perhaps it's a relationship that you've outgrown, but it feels too hard to walk away from because of the history you share. Or maybe it's a particular identity or role you've held for so long that it's become difficult to imagine life without it. But here's the divine truth. God is calling you to let go of what no longer aligns with the life He is preparing for you. God is not asking you to abandon your purpose or your value. He is simply inviting you to release the things that have held you back and to make room for the new. The discomfort you may feel in this process is not a sign of failure. It's a sign of divine realignment. It's the feeling of shedding layers of the old self that no longer fit who you are becoming. It's uncomfortable, yes, but it is necessary. God is doing the work of purging your life of the things, people, and even self-imposed limitations that have kept you from stepping into your true calling. Letting go can be one of the hardest things to do because it often feels like we are losing something important. But the truth is, by holding on to the past, we are preventing ourselves from moving into the future. God doesn't call you to a life of stagnation. He calls you to growth, to progress, and to the divine mission He has set before you. The discomfort you are feeling is not a sign of loss. It is a sign of growth. You are making room for what God has prepared for you. You must trust in the process. Trust that everything you are releasing is making way for something better, something divinely aligned with the mission God has for your life. God is not in the business of taking things away just to leave you empty. When He asks you to release something, it is because He has something far greater in store for you. At this stage of divine realignment, it's important to acknowledge that the process may not always feel comfortable. It may feel uncertain, even overwhelming at times. The divine mission God has called you to may seem unclear, or perhaps you are unsure of the next step. This is where trust comes into play. You must trust that the divine process, though unfamiliar, is leading you exactly where you need to go. This process is not something to fear, it is something to embrace. Trusting the process means trusting that you are not losing control. It may feel as though everything around you is changing, that things are shifting in ways you cannot predict. But this is exactly what needs to happen. You are not losing control. You are being guided by a divine force, a force that sees the bigger picture, the one who created you for this very purpose. Trusting God's guidance means that even when the way forward seems uncertain, you can walk confidently knowing that He is leading you step by step. This is the divine dance between your will and God's purpose. You are being asked to let go of the need for control and step into a rhythm that is greater than your understanding. God is not asking you to figure everything out on your own. He's asking you to trust Him, to trust the process, and to walk in obedience to the call He has placed on your life. And when you do that, you will find that doors will open, connections will be made, and the divine mission will unfold in front of you. It's important to note that this process won't happen all at once. It's not a one-time event. It's an ongoing journey of transformation. God works in seasons. There are moments when the process will feel slow, even frustrating. But remember, the waiting is part of the preparation. Just as a seed takes time to grow and mature before it can bear fruit, your journey of realignment and preparation is necessary for the fullness of what God has in store for you. As you trust the process, you will begin to see that the challenges you face are not obstacles. They are the refining fires that will shape you into the person God created you to be. The fear, the doubt, the discomfort, these are not signs that you are off course. They are signs that you are moving in the right direction. The path ahead will not always be easy, but it will always be worth it. God is not calling you to a life of safety and certainty. He is calling you to a life of purpose and adventure. So as you step into the unknown, trust that you are not alone. You are being divinely guided every step of the way. The process may feel uncomfortable at times, but it is the preparation for something greater. You are being prepared for your divine mission, and this process, though sometimes challenging, is the very thing that will empower you to fulfill that mission. Lifting the anchors and releasing the past is not an easy task. It requires courage, trust, and a willingness to step into the unknown. But know this, the discomfort you feel is not a sign that you are losing something. It is a sign that you are making space for something greater. Your divine mission is calling you, and everything you are releasing is making room for what God has prepared for you. Trust the process. Trust that the divine realignment you are experiencing is leading you to the exact place you need to be. You are not alone in this journey. God is with you, guiding you and equipping you for the mission that lies ahead. Every step you take brings you closer to fulfilling your purpose, and every moment of discomfort is a step toward the freedom and fulfillment you were created to experience. You are being prepared for greatness. This is your time to rise, to move, and to step into the divine calling that awaits you. The anchors have been lifted. The past is being released. and you are now free to walk boldly into the future God has planned for you. In the world we've been raised in, success is often measured by the relentless pursuit of more work, more money, more recognition. We're taught that the key to achieving our dreams is to hustle, endlessly, scramble to meet expectations, and fight through the challenges that stand in our way. This survival mode mindset is ingrained in us from an early age. We're conditioned to believe that if we just work hard enough, push through enough obstacles, and outdo others, we will finally achieve the success we desire. However, chosen one, the life you are called to live is not about endless striving. It is not about chasing after fleeting goals or forcing things into place. The life you were made for is one rooted in divine synchronicity, the understanding that when you align yourself with your true purpose, everything you need will come to you not through your own effort, but through divine timing. The world may tell you to chase, to hustle, and to compete, but divine synchronicity invites you to trust, to surrender, and to flow with the rhythm of God's plan for your life. Synchronicity is the beautiful orchestration of events, opportunities, and connections that unfold when you step fully into the mission God has set before you. It is the hand of heaven working behind the scenes to arrange circumstances, align people, and create opportunities that are perfectly suited to your journey. This is not about forcing your will into the world. It's about moving in step with the divine flow. The more you align with your purpose, the more you will see that what you need shows up at exactly the right moment. Think about it for a moment. Imagine a life where you no longer have to chase after what you need. No more scrambling for opportunities. No more running in circles trying to make things happen. Instead, you move with divine timing, trusting that when the time is right, everything you need will fall into place. This is the currency of synchronicity. It is not something you buy or force, it is something you align yourself with. When you align your spirit with God's will, everything you need, whether it's resources, relationships, or opportunities, will come to you with ease, with precision, and in ways that feel almost miraculous. In a world that teaches us to chase synchronicity, teaches us to trust. It invites us to stop striving and to surrender to the divine rhythm of life. It's about letting go of the idea that we have to control everything, that we need to push and fight for every inch of success. Synchronicity reminds us that when we are aligned with God's purpose for our lives, everything we need will come to us naturally in God's perfect timing. We no longer need to hustle in fear, believing that if we don't act immediately, we'll miss our chance. Instead, we learn to trust that God will open the doors at the perfect time, and that our steps will lead us exactly where we need to go. What is remarkable about synchronicity is how precisely it works. It's not a random series of events. It's the divine hand arranging every detail of your life, working in ways that are beyond your comprehension. Imagine a time when you've experienced something that felt like perfect timing, when you bumped into someone you needed to meet, or when an unexpected opportunity appeared just when you were about to give up. These moments are not coincidences. They are the result of divine synchronicity at work. For instance, perhaps you were thinking about someone you hadn't spoken to in years, and suddenly they reach out to you. Or maybe you felt an urge to go to a particular place, and upon arrival you discovered an opportunity that had been waiting for you all along. These occurrences are not the result of chance or random luck. They are divine appointments perfectly timed to guide you toward your next step. God is always working behind the scenes to align the right people, places, and opportunities with your path. All you have to do is trust the flow and follow the signs that He provides. You may also notice that as you align more deeply with your purpose, the flow of synchronicity becomes even more pronounced. What once felt like random events begins to take on a more intentional pattern. The relationships you need begin to form effortlessly. Opportunities you once thought were out of reach start showing up, and you begin to see that the very things you've been seeking are being brought to you at just the right time. This is the power of synchronicity at work. It's God's way of confirming that you are on the right path, that you are walking in alignment with your purpose. The key to experiencing this divine flow is surrender. The more you let go of the need to control, and the more you trust in the timing of God, the more synchronicity will unfold in your life. When you are no longer striving, pushing, and forcing things to happen, you open yourself up to a deeper level of trust and faith. You begin to see that things are unfolding exactly as they should, and that you don't need to worry about the details. God has already worked them out for you. Living in alignment with divine timing means that you are open to the guidance and nudges that God provides. It means tuning into your inner wisdom and trusting the subtle signs and messages that come your way. These signs may appear in many different forms through a conversation, a song, a feeling, or even a random encounter. The more you pay attention to these divine whispers, the more you will notice how the pieces of your life come together effortlessly. You no longer need to force them into place. They will fall into place as you move in sync with the flow of divine timing. This is not just a passive waiting game, however. Living in synchronicity requires action, but it's a kind of action that is grounded in trust. You don't need to know the entire plan. You only need to take the next step. You don't need to have all the answers or figure out every detail. You simply need to trust that each step you take will lead you to the next, and that God's provision will follow you along the way. As you embrace synchronicity, you will begin to feel a sense of peace and freedom. You will stop feeling like you are fighting against the current, and instead feel as though you are swimming with it. Opportunities will come to you, relationships will form naturally, and you will find that everything you need to fulfill your divine purpose is already in place. And here's the beauty of synchronicity. It's not just about receiving, it's also about giving. As you move in alignment with God's will, you become a conduit for blessings to others. Your life becomes a reflection of divine flow. And as you walk in the purpose God has set before you, others will feel the ripple effect of your presence. Your journey becomes a testimony of what happens when we align ourselves with God's timing, when we trust His plan and follow His lead. In conclusion, synchronicity is the currency of divine flow. It is not something you can chase by or force. It is something you align with. The more you trust God's timing and walk in obedience, the more you will experience the power of synchronicity in your life. Opportunities, people, and resources will come to you with precision and ease, because when you are aligned with your divine purpose, everything you need is already in place. The divine hand is working behind the scenes, guiding you every step of the way. Trust in the flow, surrender to the timing, and watch as your life unfolds in ways you never thought possible. Now, I want to talk to you about provision, not just any provision, but heaven's provision. This is a provision that comes not by chance, not through luck, but through divine orchestration. When you live in alignment with your purpose, when you step fully into your calling, God will provide for you in ways that are so precise, so perfectly timed, that you will know without a doubt that it was meant to be. God's provision does not come when you force it. It comes when you align yourself with His will, when you trust that He has already prepared the way. At the right moment, you will meet the right people. At the right time, you will be in the right place. The resources you need will appear, not because you hustled for them, but because you walked in obedience and aligned yourself with the mission God set before you. This provision is not a coincidence. It is divine confirmation. Each opportunity, each connection, and each provision is a sign that you are exactly where you need to be. It's not just about your needs being met. It's about your life being a living testimony of God's faithfulness. When heaven's provision flows into your life, it is not just for you. It is a witness to the world that when you walk in alignment with divine purpose, the universe itself will bend to fulfill what you need. For example, when you need a job, the perfect opportunity might present itself seemingly out of nowhere. When you need a mentor, a guide, or a friend, they may appear at just the right time in a way that feels divinely orchestrated. This is the hand of heaven at work, providing for you in a way that only God can. Perhaps you've experienced moments like this, times when you weren't even sure how you would make it, but somehow at the right moment a door opened, a person showed up, or an unexpected provision appeared. These aren't random events. They are divine confirmations that you are walking in the right direction. They are God's way of saying, "Yes, this is the path I have prepared for you." Heaven's provision is not about abundance for the sake of abundance. It's about alignment, about being in sync with God's purpose for your life. And when you are aligned with that purpose, you will find that what you need will come to you exactly when you need it. Trust in this. Trust that when you walk in divine obedience, the provision you require will follow. This is God's promise to you. Living in divine alignment means moving in sync with God's plan for your life. But how do you achieve this alignment, and how do you stay in that flow where provision and purpose align perfectly? It all begins with understanding that alignment is the key. When you align your life with God's will, everything else falls into place. The journey toward alignment is not about forcing things to happen, but trusting that in time everything you need will come as you walk, in step with His purpose. When you live in alignment, you are not governed by your own agenda or driven by your own desires. You are not chasing after things because you think you need them or because society tells you to. Instead, you are walking in the purpose God has set for you, listening for His guidance and trusting that everything you need will appear at the right moment. It's about surrendering your own plans and choosing to follow His. It's not always easy, but it's the path to peace, fulfillment, and divine flow. Alignment means tuning into the whispers of heaven, the subtle nudges, signs, and inner promptings that guide your steps. These aren't always loud or obvious. Often they come in the form of a quiet thought, an unexplainable pull in a certain direction, or a moment of clarity that arises in your spirit. When you live in alignment with God's will, you begin to notice these divine signs more clearly. You begin to see synchronicities that were once invisible to you. The more you trust in God's direction, the more you'll recognize the subtle ways in which He is guiding you. One of the greatest gifts of living in alignment is the awareness of the divine appointments in your life. These are moments where things seem to fall into place, in ways that feel perfectly orchestrated, like a series of seemingly random events that align in a way that can only be described as divinely orchestrated. For instance, you might think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and within hours, they reach out to you. Or perhaps you feel compelled to take a trip only to arrive and find the opportunity you've been waiting for is right there waiting for you. These moments are not coincidences. They are divine appointments meant to connect you with the right people or the right opportunities at precisely the right time. They are God's way of confirming that you are on the right path. Living in alignment requires a deep sense of trust in God's timing. It's about learning to walk by faith, even when the way forward isn't entirely clear. You may find yourself in moments of uncertainty, unsure of what comes next, or which direction to take. These moments are where trust is tested, but they are also where God shows His faithfulness. When you are aligned with His will, you don't need to see the whole picture. You only need to trust Him with the next step. The timing of your journey is in God's hands, and often his timeline doesn't match our own. In the moments when you feel like you're waiting for the next step or questioning your purpose, remember that God's timing is perfect. Just because you can't see the whole picture doesn't mean you're off course. It means you're learning to trust that God has already gone before you and has prepared the way. The path will unfold as you continue to move forward in obedience, trusting that He will provide clarity when you need it. You might find yourself at a crossroads, unsure of what to do next. This can be a difficult place to be, especially when the road ahead feels unclear. It's natural to want to force a decision or try to rush forward. But when you are aligned with God's will, you'll find that the right path will become clear in its own time. You won't need to force things to happen. They will unfold as you take each step in alignment with your divine purpose. The peace that comes from knowing that you are following God's guidance is far greater than the anxiety of trying to figure everything out on your own. Living in alignment means trusting that you don't need to make everything happen by your own strength. When you trust the process, you will begin to notice that the universe starts opening doors for you. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach will suddenly be within your grasp. Relationships that seemed impossible will begin to form. Resources you need will appear not because you've been striving for them, but because they were always meant to be part of your journey. The more you live in alignment, the more you'll see how God has been working in the background, making things fall into place in ways you couldn't have orchestrated on your own. This is one of the greatest truths about living in alignment God will provide. When you are walking in obedience to His will, He will not leave you lacking. You won't have to strive, hustle, or work tirelessly for every opportunity. Instead, when you are aligned with His purpose, provision will come in ways that you least expect, often through people, events, or moments of divine timing. These provisions are not accidental. They are divine confirmations that you are on the right path and that God is fulfilling His promises to you. For example, you may find that the resources you need show up exactly when you need them, whether it's financial support, emotional encouragement, or an opportunity that advances your mission. You may be in a place of uncertainty and feel as though you're running low on resources, but suddenly someone reaches out to help, or a new opportunity appears. This is God's way of confirming that when you are aligned with His plan, He will provide for you in ways that you never could have predicted. The people, the moments, the breakthroughs, they will come, not because you've made them happen, but because they were already written into your journey. Living in alignment also means learning to embrace patience. Sometimes we want things to happen immediately. We want clarity. We want provision. We want answers now. But part of alignment is learning to wait on God's timing and trusting that He is working everything together for your good. There may be times when you feel like you're in a holding pattern, waiting for the next step to unfold. It can be frustrating, but it's also an essential part of the process. As you wait, God is preparing you for what's next. He's refining your heart, strengthening your faith, and building the endurance you'll need for the road ahead. The waiting is not wasted. It is preparation for something greater. And when you step into the next season of your life, you will find that it is everything you need it to be because you've trusted the process and aligned your heart with God's purpose. It's also important to understand that living in alignment doesn't mean the absence of challenges. It doesn't mean that everything will always be easy or that life will always go according to plan. There will still be moments of struggle, doubt, and uncertainty. But living in alignment means that even in those moments, you can trust that God is with you. You can rest in the peace of knowing that He has a plan for your life, and no matter what happens, He is always working things together for your good. The true beauty of living in alignment with God's will is that it brings peace to the chaos, clarity to the confusion, and direction to the uncertainty. When you trust in His timing and move in step with His purpose, you can walk forward with confidence, knowing that everything is unfolding as it should. You are not in control of the outcome, but you are in control of your obedience. And when you choose to live in alignment, you can rest assured that God will guide you, provide for you, and open doors for you in ways that will lead you exactly where you need to go. In conclusion, living in alignment is about surrendering your own agenda and trusting in God's plan. It's about tuning into the whispers of heaven, noticing the divine synchronicities in your life, and stepping forward with faith, even when the path is unclear. It's about trusting that God will provide everything you need, not through your striving, but through His divine timing. When you live in alignment, you can be confident that God is with you, guiding you and fulfilling His promises to you. And with every step you take in obedience, you will see the divine flow unfold, leading you to the abundant life He has prepared for you. Divine appointments are moments in your life that feel uniquely designed by God, events, encounters, or decisions that at first glance may seem ordinary or even unimportant, but in hindsight reveal themselves as perfect pieces of the greater puzzle of your life's journey. These are the moments that affirm you're exactly where you're meant to be, moving in the right direction, even when you don't fully understand why. Think of divine appointments as a GPS system for your soul. The path ahead might not be fully visible to you. You might not see the whole map, but you don't need to. You only need to trust the next turn. Every time you follow that inner nudge to make a phone call, attend an event, or take a seemingly random detour, you're engaging in a divine appointment. These moments act as signposts from God, guiding you along the way, reassuring you that you are moving in alignment with His plan for your life. One key to recognizing divine appointments is to understand that there are often moments when your own will aligns perfectly with God's. In these moments, your spirit and His whisper match, and that's when the world around you shifts in ways that are too perfect to be coincidental. You don't need to force things to happen. When you walk in alignment with God's purpose, you will naturally find yourself where you need to be at exactly the right time. For example, you might feel a sudden urge to attend a specific event, something that doesn't seem to serve any immediate purpose. But then, while you're there, you meet someone, maybe a stranger, maybe an acquaintance, and they offer you the very advice, connection, or opportunity that you've been praying for. That seemingly random event, that spur-of-the-moment decision, was a divine appointment orchestrated for your benefit, even if you couldn't have predicted it. Or perhaps during a casual conversation with someone you've just met, they mention something that resonates deeply with you. A small remark or an offhand comment leads to an idea that changes the course of your life. What seemed like an ordinary exchange becomes a catalyst for transformation. These moments are not random, and they are certainly not mere coincidences. They are part of the divine plan that is unfolding in your life, designed to keep you moving forward on your purpose-filled journey. Another powerful example is when you feel an intuitive nudge to reach out to someone even though there's no apparent reason to. Perhaps you haven't spoken in years, or maybe the timing feels off. But you act on that impulse, and the connection leads to an unexpected opportunity, whether a new job, a new friendship, or a new perspective on something important in your life. These divine appointments often happen when you least expect them, but they are never random. They're God's way of guiding you, often with the subtlety of a whisper, pushing you toward the next step in your journey. It's essential to pay attention to these moments and signs, as they may come in unexpected forms. Sometimes they show up through people, someone who unexpectedly crosses your path with wisdom or guidance. Other times they come in the form of events or situations that seem ordinary at first, but carry a deeper meaning once you reflect on them. And sometimes it's the quiet nudging within your spirit, that subtle pull that urges you in a certain direction, that points you toward your next divine appointment. The key to unlocking the power of these appointments is to trust them. When you recognize that something beyond your own plans is guiding your steps, you will find that your path unfolds with greater clarity. Trusting these divine signs is an act of faith, a faith that tells you that the moments you encounter are not random. They are part of the divine synchronicity that God is weaving together for your good and for the fulfillment of your purpose. Divine appointments may not always make sense in the moment. Sometimes the impact of a particular meeting or event won't be clear right away. But rest assured that these moments are strategically placed on your path to move you forward. They are a reminder that you are not alone on this journey. God is guiding you, leading you through divine timing and showing you the way through every encounter, every decision, and every step you take. Living in alignment with God's purpose means recognizing that your steps are being ordered by Him when you trust that the divine appointments along your journey are part of His plan. You begin to see how perfectly everything falls into place. You no longer have to force things. You no longer have to scramble for what you need. Instead, you begin to recognize how God's hand is at work, guiding you toward exactly where you need to be at exactly the right time. In the process, you'll find that the more you trust in these divine appointments, the more your life will feel like it's moving in perfect rhythm with God's plan. Doors will open in unexpected ways. Relationships will form with ease, and opportunities will appear out of nowhere, all at the right time. This is the beauty of divine timing and synchronicity. It's about trust. Trusting that when you follow God's lead, He will open doors that you could never have opened on your own, and guide you to places you could never have found without Him. As you continue to walk in alignment with God's will, you'll find that your life begins to overflow with purpose, with clarity, and with a sense of fulfillment. Every moment, every encounter will become a divine appointment, a reminder that God is working behind the scenes, guiding you toward the life He's always had planned for you. So pay attention to those divine whispers, those nudges, and those unexpected encounters. Trust that they are part of your journey, and know that you are exactly where you need to be. Divine appointments are not random. They are divinely orchestrated, and they are meant to keep you moving forward, always toward the next chapter of your purpose. Trust in them, follow them, and watch as your life unfolds in the most extraordinary ways. Living in divine flow means trusting that everything you need will come to you at the right moment. It means surrendering the need to control and instead moving in harmony with the rhythm of God's will. Synchronicity is not about forcing things to happen, but about walking in alignment with the divine purpose that has been set before you. As you continue to trust the process, you will see how divine appointments, provision, and opportunities begin to flow naturally into your life. You are not walking this path alone. God is with you every step of the way, guiding you, providing for you, and opening doors at just the right time. And as you live in alignment, you will find that the world begins to unfold in ways that feel like divine confirmation. You are walking in synchronicity with the divine, and this is the path of fulfillment and purpose. So stay present, stay tuned into the whispers of heaven, and trust that everything you need will come to you in the perfect timing. This is the life you were always meant to live, one of divine flow, where you are carried by the current of God's will, moving forward with ease, grace, and purpose. The journey has just begun, and every step is divinely orchestrated. Trust in the process. Trust in the flow. When you think of travel, what comes to mind? Most people picture vacations, holidays, or perhaps the mundane business trips that take us away from home and into new surroundings. But for you, the chosen one travel is something altogether different. It is not merely a change of location. It is a sacred journey, one that carries a divine purpose far beyond the ordinary. Your travels are not just physical, they are spiritual. They are a movement of the soul. Each step you take, each place you visit, each person you meet, has been preordained to play a part in the transformation not only of the world around you, but of your own heart and soul. You are not merely going from one place to another. You are a conduit of healing. Wherever you go, healing follows. Wherever your feet touch the ground, light follows you like a shadow. You are not walking aimlessly through the world. You are walking with a divine assignment, a calling that is bigger than anything you can see right now. Your journey is sacred. Every step you take is divinely orchestrated. And this is where it gets beautiful. As you move through new lands, you will not only encounter new environments, but you will also bring transformation to the places you visit. Each step you take, each path you walk, carries the power of divine restoration. You are not just exploring new terrain, you are carrying God's presence into those spaces. Just as the wind moves without visible hands to direct it, so too do you carry God's light as you travel. Each destination is a sacred assignment, a place where your presence will bring peace, clarity, and healing. You are not only journeying for yourself, but for the places, people, and lands you touch. This is why your path has been divinely chosen. It's not a random wandering, it is a mission of transformation. As you move, so does God's work in and through you, turning everything you encounter into something better, something more aligned with divine purpose. In each place you visit, you will encounter different landscapes, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But each of those landscapes will hold a lesson, a moment of growth, a door to a new part of yourself. You will learn, heal, and transform in ways that would have been impossible if you had stayed rooted to the familiar. The beauty of healing through motion is that you cannot fully understand how much you will change until you look back from a future point. Every mile you travel, every new experience will change you, refine you, and mold you into a vessel that is ever more capable of carrying divine love and light to the world. You see, God is not calling you to stay in one place stagnant and unmoving. He is calling you to move, to carry His presence, His message of healing to wherever you are sent. Whether it's through meeting new people or discovering new cultures, you will begin to see the divine connections, the synchronicities that God has placed along your journey. And with every person you meet, with every town you enter, you will see transformation take place. This transformation is not always immediate, nor is it always visible. But as you walk in alignment with God's purpose, you will feel the shift in your own heart, and over time, you will see the fruits of your journey, the seeds of hope, peace, and healing that you have planted in the hearts of others. Let's get this clear: you are not a wanderer. You are not on a vacation. You are a messenger. Every time you travel, you are on assignment. And this assignment is one of great importance. You are not just visiting new places for the sake of exploration. You are there to carry light, to bring healing. You are God's vessel chosen to spread His love, peace, and transformation wherever you go. Think about the mission of Jesus as He walked across the lands, healing the sick, giving sight to the blind, casting out demons, and bringing peace to the restless. Jesus' journey was not random. Every place He visited had been marked for divine transformation. And just as He moved from city to city, from village to village to bring healing, so too are you called to do the same. When you walk into a new place, it is not just the physical environment that you are stepping into. You are stepping into the spiritual atmosphere of that place. Whether it's a bustling city, a quiet town, or a remote village, you bring with you an energy, a presence that is uniquely equipped to heal, uplift, and bring clarity. Just as the presence of Christ shifted the atmosphere wherever he went, so too will your presence shift the environments you encounter. You are a vessel of change, a conduit of God's power. It is through your obedience to his call, through your willingness to step out and move, that his healing work is done. And in this, there is profound purpose. Your movement is never random. Your visits are never by chance. You are sent to bring light to dark places. You are sent to bring peace to chaos. You are sent to change lives by simply being present. You don't need to say anything extraordinary, just your presence, your alignment with God's purpose, will carry with it the ability to change lives. This is the power of being a vessel for change. When you walk in the truth of your calling, you are not just moving through the world, you are transforming it. The world does not change because we have all the answers. It changes because we walk as living examples of what faith, obedience, and divine alignment can do. And wherever you go, the world will shift in response to the energy and presence you bring with you. But of course, with this great calling, there comes great resistance. You will encounter fear. It's natural. It's part of being human. When you step out into the unknown, when you leave the comfort of what you know, fear will rise up. It may show up as anxiety about the future, worry about finances, doubt about your abilities, or fear of what others will think. But hear this clearly: these fears are distractions. They are nothing more than smoke and mirrors designed to keep you from fulfilling your divine mission. Fear is simply the resistance of your soul moving toward its divine purpose. It is the voice of the old identity, the ego telling you to stay where it is comfortable, where it is known. But God is calling you to leave the comfortable behind and move into the unknown. Fear tries to hold you back, to stop you from stepping fully into your calling. But it cannot unless you allow it. You see, fear is rooted in the belief that you are in control. It whispers to you that you must figure things out, that you must have all the answers, that you must know every step of the journey before you even begin. But when you align yourself with God's plan, fear loses its power. It may still try to speak, but you will learn to recognize it for what it is: a distraction, a lie that keeps you stuck in the past. The reality is, fear has no place in your life. You are not moving into the unknown alone. God is with you every step of the way. His presence will guide you. His provision will follow you, and His protection will surround you. All you need to do is trust Him. Trust that He will lead you. Trust that He will provide. And trust that His plan is greater than your own. Fear will never disappear completely, but you will learn to walk through it, around it, and over it. It will no longer control you. Instead, you will use it as a signpost, a signal that you are exactly where you need to be. The more you step out in faith, the less power fear will have over you. Every time you move forward, fear shrinks. And every time you trust God's plan, courage rises up in its place. Fear tells you that you're not enough, that you're not prepared, that you're not capable. But God tells you that He has already equipped you with everything you need. The call He has placed on your life is not contingent upon your abilities. It is contingent upon your obedience. When you move forward, when you step into the unknown with God by your side, fear has no choice but to fade into the background. So, chosen one, let go of fear. Trust the process. You are being led to places of peace, fulfillment, and divine transformation. The path ahead may not always be clear, but with each step, you will feel the pull of divine purpose. The world needs your light. The world needs your healing, and you are the vessel that God has chosen to carry it. This is your mission, and it is one of great purpose. You are not a wanderer. You are a messenger. You are not traveling aimlessly. You are on a sacred journey bringing healing and light to the world. With each place you visit, you will see transformation take place both within yourself and in the environments you touch. God has called you to carry His presence, to be a vessel of change, and to bring peace and healing wherever you go. Let go of fear. Trust that God is leading you every step of the way. Know that as you move, the divine synchronicity will unfold in your life, guiding you to the right places, to the right people, and to the right opportunities. Your mission has already begun, and the world is waiting for the transformation that only you can bring. You are not alone on this journey. You are being guided, protected, and provided for. So step forward. Chosen one, the world is waiting for your light. The mission is yours, and it is time to embrace it fully. Trust the process, embrace the unknown, and watch as God works through you to transform the world. Beloved, the time has come for you to release the old. The rhythms of the past, the cycles that once defined you, are now behind you. You are stepping into a new chapter, a chapter that will be marked not by routine or limitation, but by divine movement. The life that you once knew, the life that felt safe and familiar, is no longer the life you are meant to lead. You have been called to something far greater, something bigger than you could have imagined, a life of purpose, a life of movement, a life that carries the light of God wherever you go. This is the moment where you leave behind the chains of your old identity, the old fears, the old habits that have held you back. The old life is over, and you are now walking into a new life, one that is free, one that is guided by God's divine plan for you. This new chapter is not about what you've left behind. It's about what you are stepping into. The mission before you is sacred. You have been chosen to carry the light of God into the world, to move with purpose, and to be a living testimony of divine transformation. No longer will you be defined by the circumstances of your past. You are now defined by the calling on your life. You are a vessel of light, a carrier of God's presence, and your mission is clear: to move, to spread hope, and to bring healing wherever you go. Your steps are no longer random. They are divinely ordained. Every place you visit, every encounter you have, will be touched by the presence of God, because you are walking in alignment with His purpose for you. This is the moment where your life shifts from ordinary to extraordinary. This new chapter is not a chapter of waiting, but a chapter of movement, of action, of faith. As you step into your divine purpose, you will discover new strengths, new gifts, and new opportunities you never thought possible. You are no longer held back by the past. You are free to live in the fullness of the present and to move forward into a future that is filled with hope, purpose, and divine destiny. Now, chosen one, it's time to make the declaration. The mission ahead is waiting for you, and it's yours to embrace. No more hesitation, no more second-guessing. The divine assignment that God has prepared for you is unfolding right before your eyes. It is time to step into it with confidence, with courage, and with the certainty that you are equipped for everything that lies ahead. I urge you to declare your readiness for this new life, this new mission. If you feel the stirrings of purpose rising within you, if you feel the call to move, to step forward in faith, then type Amen in the comments or declare, I'm ready to fly. This is your declaration. This is your moment of alignment with heaven's purpose for your life. You are not waiting for permission. You have already been called. Your mission is already written. As you type Amen, you are not just speaking words. You are activating your spirit. You are telling the world, telling yourself that you are ready to walk forward into the unknown, into the divine assignment that God has prepared for you. You are saying yes to the call of purpose. You are saying yes to the life that is waiting for you. This is not just about acknowledging the calling. It's about stepping into it, walking in it, and living it out every day. Trust that as you move, doors will open. As you take one step of faith, God will meet you with provision, with strength, and with guidance. This is your moment. This is the beginning of your divine journey, and it starts now. Now, let us seal this moment with a powerful prayer, aligning our hearts with God's purpose. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and open your heart to His presence. Heavenly Father, we come before you today with hearts full of gratitude and expectation. We thank you for the calling you have placed on our lives. We thank you for the divine purpose you have set before us. We declare that we are ready to walk in the light of your truth. We are ready to step out in faith, to move with purpose, and to carry your light wherever we go. Father, guide us in this new journey. Strengthen our hearts and our spirits. Give us the courage to face the unknown, the wisdom to follow your whispers, and the faith to trust in your divine timing. We release all fear, all doubt, and all hesitation. We embrace the calling you have placed on our lives. We say yes to the mission. We say yes to the movement. We say yes to the divine purpose that is unfolding before us. Lord, we pray for your protection as we walk this path. We ask that you surround us with your presence, that your angels go before us and guard us along the way. We trust that you are with us every step of the journey, and that as we move in obedience, your provision will follow us. We declare that we are not moving alone. We are moving with you. We are moving in divine alignment with your will. Father, we thank you for the healing that is already taking place in our hearts, in our lives, and in the lives of those we encounter. We thank you for the divine appointments that will come our way, for the opportunities that will open, and for the transformation that is taking place in us and through us. We are vessels of your healing power, and we carry your light into every space we enter. We thank you, Lord, for this new life. We thank you for the mission that is now before us, and we trust that as we step into it, you will guide us, provide for us, and empower us to fulfill all that you have called us to do. In Jesus' mighty name we pray. Amen. Beloved, as you embark on this new chapter of your life, remember this: your mission has already begun. You are not waiting for the perfect moment. You are already living in it. Your life is no longer defined by what you've left behind. It is now defined by the divine purpose that is unfolding before you. You have been called to move, to carry the light of God, and to bring healing and transformation wherever you go. The road ahead may not always be smooth, but it is filled with divine promise. Trust in God's guidance, walk in His purpose, and know that every step you take is a step closer to the fullness of the life He has prepared for you. You are not alone in this journey. You have been equipped, empowered, and called for such a time as this. So step forward, chosen one, with confidence, with faith, and with the knowledge that you are moving in divine alignment. This is your time. The world is waiting for you. Your mission is already in motion. Let's go. God bless you, and may His peace go with you always.